Easy vegan chili. Today I'm sharing my best vegan stovetop chili recipe. This chili is completely vegan, but if you wanted to add some shredded cheddar cheese on top, it would make a lovely vegetarian chili as well. I make it on the stovetop, but you could also throw everything into the crock pot and slow cook it on low for 8 hours. Here are the ingredients that you'll need for your chili. 2 carrots, 2 onions, 3 bell peppers, I use red, yellow, and orange, 3 cloves of garlic, 3 pints or 1.5 liters of canned tomatoes, I'm using my home canned tomatoes, 3 cups or 750 milliliters of vegetable broth, 2 tablespoons or 30 grams of tomato paste, 3/4 cup or 175 milliliters of red wine. Now this is optional. If you choose to use red wine, I always recommend that you use a wine that you like to drink. If you don't like the way it tastes in your glass, you're not going to like the way it tastes on your plate. You're also going to need some seasonings. In my bowl here, I have 3/4 teaspoon of powdered oregano. I can't give that to you in grams because it's too light. If you don't have powdered oregano, you can use 1.5 teaspoons of dried oregano. I also have 1.5 teaspoons or 9 grams of cumin. A good chili also needs beans. I have dry beans here, 1 cup each or 200 grams of dried kidney beans and dried black beans. Dried beans need to be soaked overnight. So the night before I want to use dried beans in my cooking, I soak them in water and put them in the fridge for up to 24 hours. Just before I use them in my cooking, I drain and rinse the beans. The first thing I'm doing is I'm simmering my beans for 90 minutes. Now I've got some cumin here, and I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of cumin into the simmering water. Now the reason I'm doing that is because cumin is supposed to help make the beans more digestible. And if you wanted to, you could also put a few bay leaves into your simmering water, and that also is supposed to help the beans be more digestible. Now during the 90 minutes, I'm going to be coming back every 15 to 20 minutes just to make sure nothing's sticking to the bottom. The beans tend to stick to the bottom of the pot during the very first boil as the water's heating up, so keep an eye on that. The reason that I pre-cook my beans is because after the 90 minutes is up, I drain them because I don't want all of that simmering water to go into my chili. So while the beans are simmering, I'm going to prepare my ingredients. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to peel my carrots. I'm going to prepare all of my ingredients and put them right into my pot. Because this chili is so easy, you basically prep and plop. That's what I call it. Prep your ingredients and plop them into the pot. So I'm just going to give these a little bit of a rinse, and then I'm going to chop them up. Now I'm going to cut these up. I'm not really doing anything fancy. I'm just kind of chopping them up, or slicing them, I guess. Lost one. And like I said, these are going right into my pot. This carrot is a little bigger, so I might cut that piece in half. So I'm dropping left and right here. Let's try that again. All right, cutting this in half, and then I'll chop those pieces up, or slice them. I use the words slice and chop as the same thing. Can I do it? I did it. I'm being fancy and showing off here. Okay. There we go. Now I'm going to chop up my onions. And just while I think of it, I'm going to stir my beans. I'm right by my stove here, because we don't want those beans to stick to the bottom of the pot. There we go. They were sticking a little bit, so I'm glad that I remembered to do that. Now let's see if I can cut these onions without weeping. Now let's cut our peppers. This is the easiest way I know how to de-seed them. You just slice the top off, pull out the seed pod, discard that into the compost pile, and then I pull out the little pieces, and then you give it a tap. And that gets all of the seeds out. It's pretty neat. And I don't want to waste the top, so I'm just going to cut around it and use those pieces as well. So I just have the top there, and I can just pull the seeds out. Give them a little tap. Okay, so that's how you chop and de-seed a pepper. At least that's my way. Let me get all the seeds off here, and then we can chop our peppers. And I've already done that with the other two peppers too. They're ready to go. So I'm just going to chop them into little pieces and put them right into my pot. Now what I'm going to do is peel and chop my garlic. So the first thing I do usually is I cut the ends off, and then I give it a bang. Squish it up a little bit, but it's the easiest way to get the peel off very, very easily. You see? Chop the ends off. Sometimes the peel comes off when you chop the ends off. If it's old garlic, the peel comes off easier. Give it a bang. Just like that, and the peel should come right off. There we go. Chop the ends. Some of the skin came off, which is nice. Give it a bang, and the peel will come right off. Okay, now I'm just going to chop this up. Nothing fancy, just into pieces. And that's going right into my pot. I just wanted to show you how colorful this looks. Isn't that gorgeous? I love it. So now I'm going to add all of the rest of the ingredients into my pot. First, I've got my 3 pints of tomatoes. Like I said, I'm using the juices as well. And then I'm going to add my vegetable broth. There we go. Next up is my tomato paste. Now my red wine. And finally my spices. I'm just going to give that a little bit of a stir. And you may see on the left side of the screen, I'm still waiting for my beans. So everything's going to sit in the pot until those beans are done. And when they're done, I'll add those and we'll start our slow cook. You want to let the chili simmer covered for about 3 hours. Near the end of the simmer time, take the lid off and simmer it down to the consistency that you like. Of course, you can let the chili simmer all day long with the lid on if you want to. Just make sure to check it and stir it every so often to make sure nothing sticks to the bottom of the pot. The chili's ready. My house smells amazing. With some crunchy tortilla chips, this is the perfect comfort food for a chilly day. I hope you enjoyed this video, my friends. Please leave a like and subscribe and leave me a comment. I love to read them and I do reply to them. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time on Rain's Kitchen and Garden. Bye!